Dawn and Vice Chairman Pizer, who have excused absences. Commissioner Camacho will lead the Pledge of Allegiance and Commissioner Simmons will give the invocation.
Dear Heavenly Father, please bless this mission. Help us make the decision to make Sheffield grow healthy and safe for our future generations. Amen.
Staff, are there any changes to the agenda?
No changes to the agenda.
I'll need a motion to approve the agenda.
I motion.
I second.
Motion by Commissioner Simmons and a second by Commissioner Camacho to approve the agenda. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Camacho.
Aye.
Simmons
Aye.
and Sanchez.
Aye. Public comment. This portion of the meeting is reserved for persons wanting to address the commission only on matters not listed on this agenda. Speakers are limited to 5 minutes unless additional time is needed for translation. Please state your name and address for the record before making your presentation. Seeing no members in the audience, anyone online? We'll move on to approval of the minutes. I'll need a motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of January 13th, 2026.
I'll motion to approve the minutes.
I second.
Motion by Commissioner Camacho and a second by Commissioner Simmons to approve the minutes. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Camacho.
Aye.
Simmons
Aye.
and Sanchez.
Aye. Public hearing. Should anyone challenge any proposed action, which is the subject of a public hearing listed on this agenda, that person challenging any action taken after the public hearing may be limited to raising only those issues addressed at the public hearing in this notice, or in written correspondence delivered to the Planning Commission at or prior to this public hearing. First public hearing is conditional use permit 25-154. Staff, may we have the report?
Yes, Honorable Commission. Yeah, this item is conditional use permit 25-154 for a senior living facility. It is located at the northeast corner of North Shafter Avenue and Redwood Drive. The entire acreage is 5.43 acres. However, what's under consideration for the conditional use permit is actually constrained to about 1.5 acres. So just to give you a little bit of background, the current zoning for the site is medium density residential, or R2. The land use designation is medium density residential, or MDR. The property owner is Shafter LLC. And the CEP is for the development of a senior living facility and senior daycare. As the apartments are permitted by right, that's also a part of the entire site plan, are apartments for senior living. In the zoning ordinance, Table 4A, a senior congregate care assisted living is permitted subject to the approval of a CUP when located in an R2 zoning district. A little more project description. It is a 3-phase project. The first phase includes a 10,000 square foot senior daycare. Phase 2 would include approximately 40,900 square feet of senior living facilities with 63 live-in rooms. And phase 3 would include 32 two-bedroom apartments, about 1,240 square feet each for independent living. The total parking spaces are 109, and the site plan also includes an on-site drainage basin. With any CUP, we have to make certain findings per the zoning ordinance. The findings are that this project is consistent with the general plan and the city's policies and standards. It would not impair the integrity and character of the zone district. It is suitable for the type and intensity of the zone. There are already adequate provisions for water, sanitation, public utilities, and services at the site. Staff believes that the approval of the project would not be detrimental to public health, safety, or welfare, and actually probably would be a benefit in that regard since it is a senior living center. the staff has determined that for CEQA, this project qualifies for a Class 32 exemption, which is the infill exemption. The reason I wanted to make it very specific that what is under the CUP is about 1.5 acres, because per CEQA Class 32 infill exemption has to be 5 acres less. The whole entire parcel is greater than 5 acres, but what's under consideration for the CUP is under that 5 acres. Therefore, it meets the infill exemption, meaning that it is substantially surrounded by existing land uses already. And then attached to the resolution are conditions of approval deemed necessary for safety and welfare. And with that, staff recommends you open the public hearing and adopt Resolution 26-475, a resolution of the Planning Commission approving CUP number 25-154 with findings and attached conditions of approval. With that, staff is happy to answer any questions you may have.
There's any questions for staff at this point?
No, sir.
No, not at the moment.
Now open the public hearing on this item. Is there anyone who wishes to speak on this item? If so, please give your name and address for the record. Audience or online? Seeing none, I will now close the public hearing. Anyone have any further questions? It's pretty
Yeah.
senior living, it's pretty self-explanatory, right? No, just an assisted living and in independent apartments.
Correct, as well as sort of a daycare.
Like a day, yeah.
Yes.
Does this help qualify for our medium density housing issue as far as apartment housing? Or
The allotment that we're trying to.
Yeah, it will certainly help with our RENA, our
and the
regional
whole
housing.
Yeah.
5
development.
acres will count towards that, or is just the 1 acre?
Based on units.
No, it's really dependent on the number of units that
Yeah.
ultimately get developed.
Okay.
It'll still qualify towards that goal.
Correct. It'll
Perfect.
qualify towards our regional housing needs
Yes.
allocation.
Any other questions? Nope. I'll call for a motion to approve item number 1.
I motion to approve item number 1.
I second.
Motion by Commissioner Simmons and a second by Commissioner Camacho to approve resolution number 26-475, approving conditional use permit number 25-154. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Camacho?
Aye.
Simmons?
Aye.
And Sanchez.
Aye. The second public hearing is for conditional use permit number 26-156. Staff, may we have the report?
Yes, sir. So this is CUP number 26-156. Next slide, please. Yeah, so this is for the Wonderful Soar. This is an aerial image or a screenshot from our GIS system showing the wonderful amenity center on the northwest corner of Zachary Avenue and 7 Standard Road. So that red outline portion is really where the Wonderful Store is proposed to be. So there's application right now for tenant improvements, and that is by right. So I just want to clarify that a retail store is allowed by right in this zone. Next slide. But really what the conditional use permit is required for in this case is the sale of wine. So as part of the retail operations, Wonderful is proposing to sell some of their wine products. And so any business that wants to sell alcohol, beer, wine, hard liquor as part of their operations, in accordance with Section 11.50 of the zoning ordinance, they're required to receive approval of a conditional use permit. And they're also required to receive approval of a ABC license. So in this case here, we have a floor plan that shows that about 35 square feet of the floor space is going to be dedicated to the storage of alcoholic beverages, and another roughly 35 square feet will be for the retail sale floor area. Next slide. Yeah, so again, the zoning is industrial, the land use is industrial, a retail store is allowed by right, no issue there. CUP is simply for the sale of wine for off-site consumption and for occasional wine tastings on-site. And so the applicant already possesses an approved ABC type 02 license, which is typical for wine growers. And so they're going to be going through a duplicate type filing in order to use that same license in conjunction with this site here. Next slide. And so same findings that are required for the CUP were made for this one. It's consistent with the general plan and the city's policies. There wouldn't be any impairment of the integrity or character of the industrial zone. The type and intensity of this project is suitable for this zone, and yes, it's exempt from CEQA under Class 32, and the conditions of approval that were prepared are deemed necessary for safety and welfare. Yeah, so staff recommendation is to open the public hearing and adopt resolution number 26-476, a resolution of the Shafter Planning Commission to approve conditional use permit 26-156 with the findings and the attached conditions of approval in Exhibit B. I'm happy to answer any questions.
This is being brought by Wonderful.
Yeah, it's a wonderful.
Okay.
company, Yeah.
'Cause they own the little restaurant that's
La
adjacent
Cocina, yeah, so that red outline portion is, I think, directly across.
across from it.
La
Okay,
Cocina, Yeah,
perfect.
and the store is gonna be called The Wonderful Store.
Do we know hours of operation or anything like that?
No, I do not, but Tracy may be able to shed some light on that. I don't know if maybe she wants to come up during public comment or whatnot.
Okay, yeah, we'll get her in public comment. Cool. Any other questions for staff at this point?
No, sir.
On now open the public hearing on this item. Is there anyone who wishes to speak on this item? If so, please give your name and address for the record. Yeah.
Yes.
Thanks.
Thanks, Tracy Burns Lusich. My address is 14640 Pam's Way, Bakersfield. Wonderful's address is 4050 7th Standard Road. You had a question about operating hours?
Yeah, do you know that at this point?
At this point, it's typical standard operating hours of when we're open in business and when the facility would be open, which is standard 8 to 5 hours, Monday through Friday.
And that location is across from La Cocina
That is-
to the west then?
East.
To the east.
Oh, on the other, okay, on the other side. Any other questions? It's primarily wine that Wonderful,
All Wonderful products would be sold in the retail store. It's
Okay.
just we have Justin Winery products, Landmark and Lewis that we want to sell there. There may be an occasional, small tasting event to promote the wine that they would do at the facility. That may be a later time. We don't really have that defined yet.
okay,
Perfect.
That'd
Thank
be
you.
occasional.
thank you, appreciate it. Anyone else in the audience wishing to speak on this item? I'll now close the public hearing on this item. If no other questions by commissioners, I'll ask for a motion to adopt resolution number 26-476.
I motion to adopt that resolution.
I second.
Motion by Commissioner Camacho and a second by Commissioner Simmons to adopt resolution number 26-476, approving conditional use permit number 26-156. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Camacho?
Aye.
Simmons?
Right.
And Sanchez?
Aye. The third public hearing is for conditional use permit number 26-157. Staff, may we have the report?
Next slide, please, Jasmina. So the applicant this time is the current property owner of the Foxy Lady, which would be Omar Reese. And yeah, so we're all familiar with the Foxy Lady shown here in the downtown on State Avenue, 308 State Avenue to be exact. Next slide, please. So the zoning of this is a general commercial zone. Land use designation is commercial professional offices. I do want to clarify that the existing business will remain the same. So there was an ownership change recently, and yeah, they're looking to operate it still as a bar / club. But the CUP in this case is needed for the operation of the liquor license. So historically, the Foxy Lady never had a conditional use permit. in order to sell alcohol from their premises because it had been open for so long. I think back then it was Granddaddy's or
Yeah, grandfather did.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So it was it was grandfathered in, and we never required a conditional use permit. But now that there's new ownership and they're proposing a ABC Type 48 license, it triggers compliance with the current Title
Right.
17 requirements, and so under section 11.50, no establishment may sell alcoholic beverages for either on-site or off-site consumption unless the CUP has been approved. And so, yeah, next slide, please. So now they're requesting that we approve a CUP so that they may sell the on-site hard liquor, beer, and wine from their premises. And same findings that were made for the Wonderful Store are now made for this CUP. Staff doesn't see any issues, and we have prepared conditions of approval in Exhibit B. So the recommendation is essentially the same. We open the public hearing and adopt resolution number 26-477, a resolution of the Planning Commission of the City of Shafter approving CUP 26-157 with findings and the conditions of approval as shown in Exhibit B. And this license is on sale general public premises, so that's type 48 license typically issued to bars and nightclubs.
With the CUP, typically that means that if you have any types of crime or incidents there, that CUP can be revoked. Is that correct?
Yes, that's right. So one of the conditions of approval, boilerplate ones that we include is that if at any point, it becomes a public nuisance,
Yeah.
detrimental to public safety and public welfare, the city does have the enforcement capacity to make that CUP null and void.
Do we have any like history or any documentation that would be concern for us moving forward for this CUP?
Not that I can think of off
Okay.
the top of my head. I did approach our police chief about it and asked him for comment or input. Really, his main concern was public safety. Will there be surveillance and just making sure that we include safety related conditions of approval. So there were a couple that were included as part of that in Exhibit B. Yeah, so
The conditions are pretty extensive. Yeah, several pages.
And one thing I'd like to add is this, because this is really a new license, the previous owner took their existing license. So if they were to come in and try to establish another place that required a type 48 alcohol license, they would also have to go through
Right.
now an additional CUP.
Got it.
Just wanted to make it clear. I mean, it hinges on an existing facility, but with a new license, because the other person, those are worth a lot of money and you can sell them off and do those sorts of things. So they took their license with them and the new owner wants to establish their own license.
Makes sense.
Any other questions?
No, sir.
I'll now open the public hearing on this item. Is there anyone in the audience or online who wishes to speak on this item? If so, please give your name and address for the record. Seeing none and no one online, I'll now close the public hearing. I need a motion to adopt resolution 26-477, a resolution of the Planning Commission of the City of Shafter approving conditional use permit number 26-157 for on-sale general public premises ABC Type 48 license at the Foxy Lady at 308 State Avenue to allow the sale of beer, wine, and distilled spirits, adoptive of findings, and approve the proposed conditions of approval.
I motion.
I second.
Motion by Commissioner Simmons and a second by Commissioner Camacho to adopt resolution 26-477, approving conditional use permit number 26157. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Camacho?
Aye.
Simmons?
Aye.
And Sanchez.
Aye. The fourth public hearing is for commercial tentative tract map number 7253. May we have the report?
yes, this is tentative tract map number 7523. So this is a commercial subdivision of 10.96 gross acres into 11 commercial lots. Mostly when I bring a tentative tract map before the commission, it's been a residential subdivision, so there's a first commercial tract that you'll be taking a look at. I will say there is a parent application to this tentative tract map, which was also presented to the commission
Okay.
last year. It was conditional use permit number 24-151. And so this tract map is to effectuate condition of approval number 20 from that CUP, which essentially require that the developer receive approval of a tract map and provide the city with the CCNR, so covenants, conditions, and restrictions. Is kind of going to operate under almost like a condominium proposal. So, you know, everything is going to be under common ownership, and there's going to provide shared easements and facilities for drainage, legal access, parking, landscaping, lighting, walls, utilities, etc. Next slide, please, Yasmina. So this is the location here. So it's north of the ball fans' homes. As you can see, it's on the west side of South Central Valley Highway between Euclid Avenue and East Ash Avenue. Yeah, this is where the Shafter Commercial Center or Shopping Center is going to be located. Next slide. So this is the tentative parcel map, if you will. As you can see, there's the lot layout here. Several of these lots don't meet the minimum lot development standards, which is why, again, we're requiring CCNRs to, you know, it's the legal mechanism that allows them to move forward with subdivision without meeting the minimum lot requirements. And so, you know, in perpetuity, they'll have to make sure that all of the owners of or renters of the individual commercial lots have the right to legal access and can have parking and have the required landscaping and lighting and meet all of the city's subdivision and engineering and public works and zoning requirements. Next slide. So findings, staff finds that this project is consistent with the general plan and the zoning ordinance, conforms to the subdivision map act and municipal code title 16. The site is suitable for the proposed and the proposed type of development. There's no impact to the environment, the fish, wildlife, or habitat. Project isn't likely to cause any public health or safety problems. Conditions of approval have been prepared, which are necessary for ensuring the safety and welfare of the community. And it's of course compliant with CEQA because there was already a mitigated negative declaration that was prepared as part of the conditional use permit process. Next slide. So staff recommends that the commission conduct public hearing and adopt resolution number 26-478, recommending that the Shafter City Council approve tentative tract map number 7523 as shown in Exhibit A, subject to the findings and the attached conditions of approval. Thank you.
Questions for staff?
No questions.
No.
As far as is there gonna be requirements for block wall around that?
Yes, there will be. So there's going to be a block wall around the proposed drainage basin that they're showing on the southwest corner of the site. Well, they wouldn't show it here, but it was part of the shopping center site plans. And then there will also be a block wall on the entire western portion of the lot, if I remember correctly.
So between the youth center and this?
Yes, and between the commercial, yeah.
Any other questions?
Oh, no.
Seeing no other questions, I'll now open the public hearing on this item. Is there anyone who wishes to speak on this item? If so, please give your name and address for the record. Seeing none, anyone online? Seeing none, I will now close the public hearing. I need a motion to adopt resolution number 26-478, a resolution of the Planning Commission of the City of Shafter recommending approval of tentative tract number 7523 as depicted in Exhibit A with conditions of approval as shown in Exhibit B to the City Council of the City of Shafter.
I motion to adopt resolution number 26-478.
I second.
Motion by Commissioner Camacho and a second by Commissioner Simmons to adopt resolution number 26-478, recommending approval of tentative track number 7523. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Camacho,
Aye.
Simmons,
Aye.
and Sanchez.
Aye. The next item is management report number 1, general plan conformity determination. Staff, may we have the report?
Yes, this is a general plan conformity determination for 1351 East Ash Avenue. Just to give you a little background, Government Code Section 65402 requires that a finding that a city's purchase of property conforms to the general plan. It also occurs when there's a sale of property by a city. The city plans on purchasing property at 1351 East Ash Avenue, and we'll give you a map here in a second. It's the current general plan designation and zone classification for the parcel, which is 4.74 acres, is industrial for both. The current use is an idle concrete manufacturing facility, which is a by right use in the industrial zone and conforms to the general plan. If sold, the city would use the property for professional offices, which is also a by right use. It conforms to the general plan. Staff determined approval of the project is the project is not considered a project per CEQA per section 15378B3. This gives you a sense of where it is. Sorry, for some reason the streets disappeared on me. But just to the north is the regional park. You can see the cluster of buildings to the west. That's Public Works. So that is currently the site that the city is proposing to purchase.
Okay.
And with that, it's really just a check on, does the proposed use, our proposed use conform to the general plan. So with that, staff recommends that you adopt resolution 26-479, a resolution of this planning commission finding that the purchase of real property at 1351 East Ash conforms to the general plan in accordance with Government Code Section 65402. With that, I'm happy to entertain any questions you may have.
Questions?
No, sir.
And that property's been for sale for some time, yeah.
Yes, it has.
Is
And-
there cleanup required? Like, looking at the satellite pictures, looked like a lot of stuff was left.
I think there is going to be some cleanup required, obviously taking out some of the machinery that was used to make the
Used to
concrete
make, yeah.
products. It was basically cementatious boards.
That wall board?
Yeah, basically cement wall boards.
Yeah.
Is what it used to be made. And now obviously the use is going to be a lot less intensive than what was existing. So it's going to be a benefit.
Any further questions, comments? I'll now open the public hearing.
There actually is no public hearing for this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Still need a resolution though, right?
Yeah, still need a motion in a second.
Oh. I need a motion to adopt resolution number 26-479, a resolution of the Planning Commission of the City of Shafter, finding that the purchase of real property located at 1351 East Ash Avenue, parcel 089-140-13, conforms with the City of Shafter General Plan in accordance with Government Code Section 65402, and finding the adoption of the resolution in compliance with CEQA requirements.
That motion?
I second.
Motion by Commissioner Simmons and a second by Commissioner Camacho to adopt resolution number 26-479. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Camacho.
Aye.
Simmons.
Aye.
And Sanchez.
Aye. Any reports from commissioners?
No, sir.
None.
I don't have any. There being no further business to come before the Planning Commission, I need a motion and a second to adjourn.
I motion to adjourn.
I second.
Meeting is adjourned.